Welcome back, Pudlings. Look at the beauty that we've got here with us today. That's right, we are on the 2024 Triumph Daytona 660. And what an absolute stunner she is. We're at Ribblehead Viaduct on a sunny day and we've got the lovely pearlescent white paint job. And that's probably the first thing to start on. I think this bike looks absolutely awesome. It's a beautiful looking motor. It's definitely very different to the Triumphs Daytonas of old, but awesome nonetheless. So I'm not going to go too much into it off of the bike, but I just wanted to show you so you can get a nice look at it, and then I'll just go briefly through the switchgear. So, up front, we have this beautiful little dash. Beautiful. And fuel level low, as you can see. I might need to put something in the bike. On the switchgear, you've got all your buttons to navigate through. You've got your different modes, so I'm currently in sports mode, but that can be set to rain or road mode, but I think we'll stay in sports mode. Cheeky little confirm there, bitches. To be honest, there's not much more to it other than your usual shite up front. Right, enough of this. I think we need to get on the bike and try it out. I mean, I've already tried it out because of where I am. It's not just been dropped off here for me. But let's get to it. Let's start the bad boy up. See you on the road. Yeah. Right. So here we are, setting off from the beautiful Ribblehead Viaduct, and as you can see, it's sunny, so it is very busy today. Absolutely beautiful spot, especially for biking on a day like this, and I'm an absolute sucker for this place. What's up, man? So first impressions of this little thing. Well, the first thing I noticed is that it is incredibly light. It feels enormously light. It feels like you just want to whip this thing about right from the get-go. Takes a little bit of getting used to start with, but that's maybe because I've daily an older bike, so it's got a not a clunkier throttle, but definitely not as light, and this has a lovely light responsive throttle, but it just feels weightless. It feels absolutely weightless. And it is interesting because wet weight, the bike is actually approximately 201 kilos up walkers, so it's not the lightest bike. It really is not the lightest bike, but I feel like bike weight feels completely different once you're on the move. Let me just get my fuel range up so you can flick between numerous pages on the dash, between your fuel status, mileage, trip miles, overall miles. Oh, it just gives you the confidence. You just feel the confidence to throw it into the corners. It's lovely. Feels like it wants to be thrown into the corners as well. As I was saying, fuel low, gear indicator and time, and then you can check all your other things like your temperature. But I'm going to stick with fuel status because it has warned me we're at low fuel, and I think I'm going to need to put a little bit of fuel in it. But that's fine. That is absolutely fine. What's up? And as I was saying about the responsiveness of the throttle, it does feel somewhat torquey. I think it's got something like 60 newton meters of torque at around 8,250 RPMs, which isn't bad. It does max out, it redlines at 12,500 RPM, so it's still fairly high in the rev range, but it's respectable. Let's get through here. Oh, nice. Lovely. Oh, I think we're 30 mile an hour through here. Also, I think this could be possibly the perfect roads to bring this bike out on. Let's talk about the engine, the power. So, this is running a 660cc liquid-cooled inline 3-cylinder engine. Triumph love a triple. We know Triumph love a triple, and this one definitely doesn't disappoint. It's so smooth. The power's there when you need it. You're working with around 93 brake horsepower. Let's be fair, it's not the super sport that the Daytona used to be. It is not that bike. So if that's what you're thinking, if that's what you're after, you're more worthwhile going for a ZX6R or the new Honda 600RR. This isn't going to give you that the competitor to that. This is more your Honda CBR 650 are. Much more of a tamer sports bike, sort of around the 100 horsepower mark, but it does what it's supposed to. It's not supposed to be a balls to the wall super sport, and that's not what it's trying to be. It's supposed to be a sporty, comfortable option, because not everyone who likes sports bikes wants the backs broken and the knees and the wrists, and this definitely isn't going to do that for you. It's got a lovely riding position, much closer to that of what I ride now, which is the Honda CBR 600F, and it almost feels at times like you're on a naked bike. That's how high your back hasn't got the bend you'd think, which is lovely, because even going from mine, which is not a committed sports bike, I feel really comfortable on this. I think this is more comfortable than my bike. So if you're one of those people who you love the idea of a sports bike because you like the looks of a sports bike, but you don't quite want that aggressive seating position, then this could be a really, really good option for you. I think when it comes to Triumph's triple engines as well, they are the smooth as butter. They are delicious. They are creme de la creme. This guy. It's the creme de la creme of engines. This is actually my first time on a triple, and it feels gorgeous. It really does. It's in no way, shape or form snatchy. Oh, we're in Horton and Ribblesdale. And when we're talking about smoothness, let's talk about the gearbox. This comes with a quick shifter. I'm not sure if it's as standard, but this model has one. And yeah, I'm not used to using a quick shifter, but this feels pretty lovely, to be fair. It feels pretty awesome. But I feel like a quick shifter is always going to feel like that to someone who's never had the experience with a quick shifter. It does feel a little unnatural at first. Once you're sort of used to using it, I'm going to struggle to go back to my non-quick shifter. Yeah, the gearing feels silky smooth. Just a heads up, we are with Father Bubbling today. And he's going for it. We're playing cat and mouse, guys. We can really see what it can do on these open limits. It's lovely. The gearing is again smooth as butter. The only little issue I've been having is at slow speed. I tend to accidentally drop it into neutral every now and then. I don't know if that's just my mistake. I'm needing to improve what I'm doing. Oh, lovely. I'm just needing to get used to it a little bit more, but it has tended to drop into that neutral a couple of times, so that's not the most ideal. But to be honest, over anything, it's just made me embarrass myself a couple of times. That's about it. Which is fine. I don't mind embarrassing myself every now and then. But to be honest, I don't really have much more to say on the gearing. It feels lovely. The tyres that we have on this bike, I believe Cobb & Jagger and Shipley, just a shout out to them. I am on a demo bike today from Cobb & Jaggers in Shipley, so I suppose if you want to have a go on one of these, ring them up and this exact bike will probably be available to have a blast on. But they've fitted, well, I assume they've fitted, or it could come standard with the Michelin Power 2s, I believe. Correct me if I am wrong, guys. I'm by no means an expert on all of the deets, but as of yet, not failed me once. But then again, I have not been out overly long on the bike, so, and of course it is like perfect riding conditions today, so the grip has been on point, the bike's dealt with it lovely, the tyres have dealt with it lovely, no matter how far I've tried to lean over. Obviously you can push the limits of them, but I'm by no means that skilled of a rider that I can push the limits of tyres. Yet, maybe. Who knows, one day. We'll see, won't we? But for your daily use, for what I've been doing in the Dales today, yeah, they seem pretty decent. I'm not really going to moan. The brakes on the bike, I'll throw the brake spec up on the screen, and obviously it does help because this bike's only got something like 400 miles on it, so I think the brakes are probably pretty decently broke in by now. and working to the best that they ever really will. They are pretty spot on, really. It's got a very nippy front end. Like I said, it does feel like the bike does want to be ridden through corners, and it feels like the bike dives before you throw it into a corner. It almost feels like it wants to fall through the corner itself, which is what you want on a bike. That's the perfect way for a biker and their bike to be in perfect unison. If the bike is already wanting to do what the rider's wanting to do, awesome. Now, I'm not talking it's got a mind of its own, absolutely not, but it's pretty damn nice. It is pretty damn nice. Oh, it's a 40 on here anyway. I'm there stressing because I've gone past a video van and I was there doing like 34 and I'm like, oh shit, it's a 30, but it's not, it's a 40. We're good. Let's check the time. It's 2:51. I have to be back in Brighouse in 50 minutes. That's not ideal because I don't think I'm going to be there. Shit. And also, like I said, I'm going to have to stop to put a little bit of fuel in, which leads me perfectly onto the next topic of the bike, your fuel consumption and your fuel capacity. So this bike has a 14 litre fuel tank, so not the biggest of course, but I don't think it's really screaming to be a Tourer. 14 litre fuel tank, not bad at all, and with average riding you're probably looking at getting 50 to 60 mile per gallon out of it, which again is not bad really, especially when you've got sort of all the power you'd need on the roads. Yeah, we're not talking track bike territory, but you've got all the power you need on the roads, so what's to sort of complain about? It's decent fuel consumption. It's a decent sized fuel tank. It's fairly average, to be honest. Don't be fooled by the clip-ons because it's by no means clip-on aggressive. That's another note for you. I do just want to reiterate again, this isn't the Daytona of old. It's not. It's a much tamer, much more comfortable, slower version. Okay, don't go for it if you want a super sport. But at the minute I'm quite impressed with this little thing. Like, it feels effortless to ride. The throttle is lovely, the braking is lovely. I love the rider modes. Although I've done mainly in sport, you do feel it definitely switches something on when you go into sport. Well, yeah, of course it does, Adam, sport mode. No, but what I'm saying is you can certainly feel the difference between road and sport mode. There's no point me trying out rain mode because that's just fairly useless for me today. Sport mode is going to be the one you want to be in when you're on days like this. And for what we've done, and normal road riding, you know, we've come through Shipley this morning, busy traffic, queuing, it's done the trick. It's been so comfortable, so easy to ride at slow speed as well. And it looks the part, it looks beautiful. I think it looks sexy as a wang. I shouldn't really say that, I've got a wife and a kid. Sexy as a wang? Really, Adam? A wang? You don't think wangs are sexy? Or maybe you do secretly, who knows? No, you know, you don't think wangs are sexy. I'm an idiot. Just tell me I'm an idiot and say, Adam, I actually hate you. Oh, and I'll go, oh, that's quite upsetting. So I would recommend, if you've seen this, you're thinking it looks pretty nice, you think it's the sort of bike you'd go for, power, looks wise, seating position wise, just get a test ride. Get a test ride, because it's not until you ride one that you know for sure. And would I own one? Would I choose this as an next bike? I don't know actually. I don't know. I have quite an eclectic mix and taste, and it's quite varied. So would I choose this over a lot of other bikes that I like in a lot of other categories as well? Yeah, probably not. Probably I wouldn't. But would I be more than happy to ride this on a daily if it was the bike I owned? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'd be more than happy. It's beautiful, you know. It's got the 41mm shower front forks. The clip-ons make it look the part. Got cracking brakes, cracking tyres. Yes, it's tame. It's not snatchy. It's not exactly torquey, really. But I don't think that's what it's meant for. I think if you want that, go get a Super Sport. Or go get a 765 Street Triple. Because that's your sporty version. That's your Super Sport, really. I know it's a naked, but that's your Super Sport. This isn't. This is your chillaxed commuter. comfy, sporty commuter, and I actually really like it. Really like it, actually. Really like it. So let me know what you think. Thank you again for watching. Make sure you drop a sub. Hopefully I'll get the opportunity to go on more rides like this. You know, I'm taking this one back now because it was just a demo ride, but you get, you know, a good couple of hours on it, which is nice because being in Shipley, you know, you're on the gateway to the Dales, so it's perfect. When they give you a couple of hours, you've got time to even zip up to Devil's Bridge and have a brew with your biker mates and go, oh, look, I'm on your bike. And then you go just take it back and it's like, oh, well, everyone thought I had a brand new Triumph Daytona 660. But yeah, I'm hoping I can get the opportunity to go out on some other bikes, a nice variety of bikes, because it's great for you guys. You know, you get to see a little bit of variety. I can try and put my little spin on reviews, because I'm by no means the best reviewer, and I by no means have the most information. But I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better, and I will get better. I promise, I swear. I love you. Right, but for now, I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for joining again. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the format of the reviewing video. I appreciate any support. And yeah, let's fucking... Thanks for watching. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.